right direction, and we kind of knew where we wanted to go. And Alice has realized it in a way that we would have never thought before that either be possible or what that looked like. And we feel that her logos and designs kind of incorporated the process we've been through in setting up this business, and then finding what, the suppliers and what we want to do. And it's, I don't know, we kind of feel that encapsulated is the whole process in that logo, and also helps tell the story of chocolate. I don't know, it's just that's, I think, one of the biggest things for us, I think, that came out of it. So we're quite proud of it.
It's great. I think it looks fantastic. I'll pop some links in the show notes to your Instagram and things so people can get a look for themselves. But it's funny you say that, because people always think because I can do photography, I'm a visual person, but photography is where my visual skills end. Like, my graphic design skills, terrible. Layout skills, terrible. I can barely draw stick figures. So it's funny that you say that, because I know exactly what you mean. You know in your head what your values are, what's important to your business, and you don't know what that will look like, but you'll know when you see it, if that makes sense. So it's great that you found a designer that was able to kind of bring all of these different aspects and different values from your business together to create your logo, because you want something that means something to you and that other people will get a real feel for your business from, and I think you've got it, so that's great. So tell us a little bit about your launch. Where will people be able to buy your chocolates, and when, and give us some info there.
So we're really busy just now kind of working on our website, which will be the kind of main place where you'll be able to buy our chocolates. We'll be online only to begin with, but
the website will be kreuzbergchocolates.co.uk.
And in case you're not sure how to spell that, that's KREUZBERG. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
No, that's great. So I'll obviously put all of these links in the show notes as well, so that everyone knows where to find you. And I think you've timed this very well, because so many of us have now shifted to online shopping just now with everything that's going on, and obviously the lead up to Christmas as well. So do you sort of have all of your flavors? I'm putting you on the spot a bit here, but do you have all of your flavors sort of planned out for your launch? Do you kind of know what we can expect?
Yes, we do. We have made decision on our 3 collections. So there will be a classic collections with some more known flavors, and then a Maverick collection with a bit more maybe unusual flavors to some, because we're trying to kind of put our personal touches on them. And we're also doing a vegan collection, which have some plant-based versions of other flavors, but also some unique vegan flavors in there. And we're also offering a personal collection where you can do mix and match to kind of recreate the chocolate shop experience. So you can choose which ones of your flavors you want in your box.
That's a great idea. That's really cool, because you're right, you are effectively recreating that experience, but to be done in a different way. So that sounds really cool. And can you tell us a little bit? So I subscribe to your Beyond the Chocolate series. I don't know if newsletter is the right word, but I will let you tell us a little bit about what that is. I know, is there a link through your Instagram, I think, to sign up for that?
Yeah, so it's Behind the Chocolates, and yeah, that's the kind of place to go really to be the first to find out our new flavours. So we're hoping to launch our online shop around mid-November, and people who are subscribed to Behind the Chocolates will get exclusive pre-order access, so you can also be the first to try our chocolates as well.
Brilliant, and their newsletter is great. I think I've mentioned a few times to you guys how much I like it. I just think it's such a great idea because as small businesses, we're always looking at ways to get our stories out there. So most of us use social media and our websites and things like that to try and share stories. But what you've done, instead of just creating a newsletter saying this is what we did this month, you're actually sharing your stories and the things that have inspired you and motivated you, and as well as sharing a lot of your process. So I love seeing the photos like while you're actually creating the chocolates and what your behind the scenes looks like. I know we spoke about that a little bit earlier as well, like being so interested in other people's processes and the way that things get made. So if you have any interest in chocolate and how it's made and how the craft chocolate works, you should definitely sign up for this newsletter because it's really cool, and also to be the first to know when the chocolates actually go on sale as well. So there is a question that I ask everybody who comes onto the podcast, and that is, what is one thing that you have learnt the hard way in your business process? So this could be quite interesting, and you might have two different answers, so I'll maybe let you each have a go at it. I know when most people come on this show, they say that there's more than one thing that they've learned the hard way, which I think is always going to be the case. Even now, I'm 5 years into kind of doing this as my full-time job, and I'm still making mistakes, which I think is a good thing. I'm learning as I go through trial and error. But who wants to go first? Jennifer, you are up.
Right. So yeah, as you say, there are many things that we've kind of learned the hard way. But I think for me, one of the things at this point is the kind of uncertainty about once we launch, how busy we're going to be, how many orders we'll get through, and just what it's going to be like to do that, and to have it all be live, I suppose, because right now there's a lot we don't know, and I'm the type of person that, I try and think of everything. My brain just does that, it's on fire a lot of the time, So I think, I get a bit caught up in trying to anticipate all the things that might happen, or how to, streamline systems and processes to make it all as easy as possible. But there's a lot that I'm sure I can't think of, or that will just come up as it comes up.
Like a global pandemic, perhaps?
Like a global pandemic, yeah. And I suppose we are kind of making that very strange decision to launch a business during a global pandemic. So who knows what comes next? Hopefully 2021 will be a calmer year. But I would say it's that, really, just kind of not really knowing at this point, and not being able to anticipate all of that, wanting to control it all.
Yeah. I think it's funny you say that, because I think so many of us are in that same boat, and when you start a business, unless it's something that you've done before, which for most of us it probably isn't, at least not on our own, you can't really anticipate things. And if you are a planner, which it sounds like you are, and your brain is always trying to figure out, Jen's nodding away here, you're always trying to kind of figure out every possible scenario, but sometimes you can't. And this year is the perfect example of that, because none of us knew that we were going to be in a global pandemic, how that would change our lives, how that would change the way that we maybe operate our businesses. So that is a good one. Just, I guess, learning to go with the flow a little bit and realizing that not everything can be planned, and learning to adapt as you go. Right, Jen, I'm going to give you a chance now. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned over the last 9 months or so?
Despite all the I agree with Jennifer on the uncertainty, and I also like to think about various aspects, possibilities, and we spend so much on, I think we're quite well prepared, I think, but there are so many bits to setting up a business, so many little bits that you don't think will be a big thing. Be it ordering labels for a printer, or I don't know, it's just so many bits, and registering here and there and that. It's just like quite overwhelming. And although we knew of most of them, it just adds to the uncertainty that maybe we've forgotten something. But we're open to learning, and we're trying to remind ourselves that obviously we're new to this, and we're learning as we go, and we hope that all goes well.
No, that is so true too. I think I was the same. I didn't have any idea how many different things I would have to figure out about running a business. I mean, even silly things like somebody brought up like setting up a business bank account and things like that you don't realize there's so many options in every decision that you make. Setting up a website, setting up social media, marketing, all of these different areas, and we're expected to wear all of these hats as small business owners. And you know, as companies grow, they might be able to hire an admin person or a financial person or a marketing person or whatever areas you kind of don't want to cover yourself or don't feel are your areas of expertise. But for most of us starting out, we are wearing all the hats for a while anyways, and it is really difficult to navigate all these things. I think I underestimated how much time it would take to sort of get these things in place, and even now, as I say, 5 years in, there are still things that I'm sort of figuring out, processes or things that I know I could do better, or managing my time a little bit better between these things. So I think it's maybe safe to say it's a learning curve no matter where in your business journey you are. But I think you've done very well to set all of this up. Both Jen and Jennifer also have careers on top of this that they are doing right now. So again, for a lot of us, that's the way that we start out, and whether or not you stay in your careers as it grows or you decide to go full self-employed wherever it takes you, I don't know, but I think you've done very well to set up a business in the midst of a pandemic. It's quite the first year that you will be able to say that you've had. But thank you so much for sharing your story and some of the insight and inspiration behind your business. You've already mentioned where we can find you. I know you're very active on Instagram and your website. Is there anywhere else that you kind of hang out online where people can check you out?
So we are on Facebook as well, just Kreuzberg Chocolates again, and we do have a Pinterest, but we're still kind of getting to grips with that really. But yeah, Instagram, the Behind the Chocolates newsletter, and our website.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, I will put all of those links in the show notes as promised, and I will look forward to seeing what you get up to and trying some of your chocolates when the time comes, just in time for Christmas.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello, I am your host, Rhiannon Louden, pro photographer, proud entrepreneur, and champion of small Scottish businesses. Thank you for joining us for episode 17 of the Small Fish Big Podcast. If this is the first time you are listening in, thanks so much for stopping by. This is the podcast for the gallus few who dream and do. It's all about sharing inspiring stories and lots of tips, ideas, and advice about starting and running a small business.